everybody, it's Catherine. So I don't know about you all, but in negative 30-degree wind chill factor, I am desperately missing the ocean, sand, and sun. All those things got me thinking about tanning. I was always very careful to stay in the shade and in hopes to not experience the aging effects of sun damage. That being said, I do like to look tan, so I have become what I would consider a professional at self-tanning. Just to throw in a little PSA here, always make sure, no matter if you're paranoid about aging or not, that you wear your SPF when you're out in the sun. And really, I mean, if you're indoors as well as outdoors, especially with blue light anymore, your skin will experience the same kind of damage that it does from the sun. Indoors, outdoors, blue light damage, it's all going to have the same effect on your skin. So please make sure that you're wearing an SPF daily. There's definitely an art to self-tanning, and it does involve a few steps if you want to get it right for a real tan. So first I'm going to go through the basic steps that you want to take when self-tanning, and then I'm going to break it down in a little bit more detailed, some tips and tricks involved with those steps. So the first thing you're going to want to do is exfoliate. And you want to do that for a number of reasons. One, it's going to get rid of the scaly skin that this self-tanner might catch on, and then obviously be more obvious that you have a self-tanner on. Two, it's going to exfoliate those dead skin cells, which since your skin goes through those cycles of regeneration, to get rid of the dead skin prior to applying the self-tanner will prevent your self-tanner from fading quicker than it would have. The next step that you want to do is shave. If you shave, you want to do that prior to applying your self-tanner as well. So personally, I do my exfoliant, I do my shaving. Then after getting out of the shower, you want to apply your moisturizer. When your skin is still damp, that helps your skin to absorb the moisturizer more. You definitely want a moisturizer on, because again, if your skin is dry, the self-tanner is going to stick to those areas more. And obviously you don't want streaks or splotches or whatever, so that's going to help to prevent those. The next step is then applying the self-tanner. So now we're going to go a little bit more detailed into these whole steps. The first one being exfoliating. So depending on what exfoliant that you use, you want to make sure, if you're going to do it immediately prior to applying your self-tanner, you want to make sure that it's water-based. If it's going to leave, like a lot of exfoliants are also moisturizing so that they don't dry the skin out, so you want to make sure that if it does contain one of those moisturizing ingredients, primarily oils, you don't want to use those immediately before your self-tanner, because what does water do to oil? It repels. So it's not going to absorb and create the look of the self-tanner that you want. That being said, shaving itself is also an exfoliant. So a lot of times, again, I will do my exfoliant. If it is an oil-based, I will do it the night before, and then immediately before doing my self-tanner, I will shave. That, again, is kind of a exfoliation on top of an exfoliation, so I make sure my skin is fresh and new and ready for that self-tanner.
So the first thing you're going to want to do is exfoliate. Now, be cognizant of what exfoliant that you're using. You want water to be the first ingredient and not an oil of sorts, because if it's an oil, it's going to repel the tanner and not work. So this one, for instance, if you look at the ingredients, the top one is sea salt and then water, versus Bum Bum Body Scrub, which I absolutely love. But if we look at the first ingredients, where is it on here? The first ingredient is sucrose and then coconut oil. So obviously this one is not going to be the best one to use right before you use your self-tanner. If you do have one more like this, what I would suggest doing is using a body scrub the night before you plan to self-tan. Your skin will be all set to apply your self-tanner. Like this one you could use and then get out of the shower, apply your water-based moisturizer, and then apply your self-tanner. This one, not going to work for that.
You're going to want to shave. If you do that step, then the next is applying your water-based moisturizer. Again, you want to make sure that the moisturizer you're using does not contain oil. Again, the oil and water repellent thing. But you do want to make sure that your skin is moisturized so that you get the best look possible from your self tanner. If you're not sure if your lotion is more oil-based or water-based, I guess a quick tool or a quick tip that I go by if I'm not sure is any creams are obviously thicker, so more likely to contain an oil. Lotions, on the other hand, are more water-based. They're lighter, they're designed to be lighter, so more than likely a lotion would be a safe bet.
So you're going to exfoliate, shave, and then apply your moisturizer right before you apply your self tanner. So again, you don't want to use one that contains any sort of oil or shea butter. That's going to repel the self tanner, and you're not going to get as good of a smooth, even coverage. You want to go with a lotion as opposed to a cream, because again, first ingredient, water, as opposed to like a body cream. If you look at this, it's going to be more of a heavy cream, and right there, shea butter. So you know that shea butter is going to be more oily and going to repel the self tanner.
Another quick tip is to make sure that you apply your lotion directly after your shower. Your skin is more receptive to absorbing it at that point, but you know, don't be wet, because that's obviously it's not going to absorb. You want to make sure that your towel dried but kind of still warm from the shower. Another quick tip on that same note, in the winter, don't be taking like super hot showers, because it's going to dry your skin out more. Like warm, temperate is the way to go. So you've applied your water-based moisturizer and you're ready to move on to the tanner. Now this is where it gets a little tricky, because it depends upon which tanner you're going to be using. There are a multitude of different options anymore. You have a mousse, there's like an aerosol spray, there's a spray, or a manual spray, however you want to call it, the pump. You have a gradual tanner, or a typical tanning lotion. So I mean, there's a variety of different formulations that you can choose. Personally, I prefer either the gradual tanner, a spray tanner, or a tanning lotion. I don't necessarily like the mousse per se. It tends to dry too quick, and I don't feel like I get as even of an application. Self tanners, gradual tanners are nice, because you typically with those tend to get a buildable tan. The downside to those is it really also depends on what brand you use. I've seen people speak really highly of a few that they personally use. In my experience, and I've tried probably 3 different ones, it doesn't tend to look as natural to me, so anymore I tend to steer away from those. Even though as a beginner with self tanner, they're nice, because again, you don't get a stark and dark tan right away. It is buildable, so if you don't really like how it looks, or if you make a mistake, it's not as oh crap, because you know, you can apply it again the next day and kind of even it out, or you know, build. But I just, on my skin in particular, it doesn't tend to have the look that I like in terms of color. So to be completely honest, I think you're going to want to have to you know, kind of trial and error for a bit, just to see how you like them and how they work on your particular skin. Some of them smell stronger in the DHA scent than others. They have a tint to them, so as you apply it, you're able to see where you've applied it. Others are clear, so you apply it and you can't really see, oh, did I hit there already or did I not? And like I said, some of them just look better on some skin than others. So I would recommend trying them on a patch of your skin, maybe, you know, in a place that's not as likely to be seen, prior to applying it to your whole body. So to get into exactly how to apply really depends on what kind of self-tanning product that you're using. Obviously a spray is pretty easy. You can just spray it on and, you know, hope that you covered your whole body. The gradual tanner, you know, apply it like any lotion. Same with like the self-tanning lotions or the, again, the mousse. Typically when I apply it, I start at my ankles and I go, you want to apply it and then apply it with a circular motion so that you're making sure that you cover all areas of your body. The thing that you want to really pay attention to is where your skin tends to be dry and thinner. So like your elbows, your ankles, the soles of your feet, your hands, go lightly on those because the self-tanner, it's like it just right into those areas, and so then you're going to have that stark brown orange color on those areas, and the rest of your body will just look like a normal tan, so it'll give you away. So I'm going to apply into my hand. It's got a lovely coconut smell, which is part of the reasons I bought it. I love the scent. It also doesn't smell so DHA-y. Again, watch as I apply it to my foot. I'm going to apply it very light so that it doesn't absorb as much into my foot. I do not apply it to my ankle nor to my toes. Then I apply it in a circular to make sure that I'm covering my entire leg. Only gonna do my calf. Like I said, we're in a pandemic. Only one that sees me anymore is my daughter, so you know, no worries. You want to make sure when applying a self-tanner that you wash your hands immediately afterwards, or that you wear gloves, because you definitely do not want self-tanner to absorb into your fingers and your hands, especially in a pandemic when you're using antibacterial lotion all the time, because I don't know about you, but my hands look like I have tried to exfoliate them with sandpaper. When you apply the water-based moisturizer, you want to give it a few minutes to absorb. You don't want to apply the lotion right away. You want to let the water-based lotion absorb into your skin, give it like 10-15 minutes, and then apply the self-tanner. And I am going to give this overnight to set in, and I'll see y'all in the morning. So there is my step-by-step process of self-tanning with a couple extra tips and tricks in there in this video, because I'm about to make one versus another, so make sure you stay tuned to that one. Make sure also that you hit subscribe and like to this video and the notification bell so that you can be alerted when I post new videos. So thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see y'all soon. Bye-bye. Hi. My daughter.